Hey everyone, welcome to the Friday vlog. Today marks a very special day for myself in kiteboarding because this is pretty much 10 years ago today is when I first got introduced to this sport. And I wanted to kind of tell you guys about my last 10 years and how I got to here today and where I started. So 10 years ago I came out here for my spring break and I was in my senior year of high school. I met my now brother-in-law, Carter Thomas, for the first time, who is the head instructor for Kite Safari, which is one of the big kite schools that were out in Long Beach. And he took me out for my first session and I got absolutely tossed. And it was awesome me and my brother-in-law getting worked on the kite the first time, and it was just hilarious, but I was hooked from that point on. And I came back out to California in August of 2010, and at that point I just dove into kiting throughout that off season, and Carter and I just playing around with the kites every chance I got, and that led into the spring 2011 where I was introduced to Robert and Danny McCullough, the owners of Kite Safari. They gave me a job just doing random stuff all around the tent, and it was awesome. I got to basically help out the instructors get their lessons going for the day. I got to do rentals and demos, and I would just keep the tent nice and tidy, and got to ride as much as I could and learn as much as I could from the instructors, which was awesome. 2012 was a big year because that was the year that I was certified by the IKO certification to teach. I went to Miami and got my certification there, and also in that year was the year that I got involved with North Kiteboarding, now Duotone Kiteboarding, as a shop rider for Kite Safari. So I started meeting people through the industry side and started getting more and more involved with these guys, and it was pretty awesome because now I had this kite brand. I was instructing, and all 2012 I was just riding, and it was great and learning more and more. 2013 was another pivotal year because now at this point Kite Safari had gone out of business, unfortunately, and I was at a point where I was kind of burnt out on instructing. I was going to school, so I was kind of back and forth of also finding another job and wasn't really sure what I was going to do with all this. So when I came into 2014, I was offered to teach for the other kite schools that were still out there, and I figured, you know what, if I'm going to teach again, I'm going to do it on my own terms, and I was going to do it through my own school. I was already running the day-to-day at Kite Safari, and I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and try to do it, and I started Off The Hook. And Off The Hook really started in 2014, and I tried to get out there in Belmont in 2014, but with Kite Safari leaving, it left a hole in the permitting process, and I was kind of stuck at the, kind of in that little limbo state because there was no permits being offered. So basically over the course of 2 years I was calling the city as much as I could, trying to find out when they were going to send out permits or the requests for proposal for permits. And then finally in 2015, after being a squeaky wheel for so long, they finally sent out the request for proposal for the new schools in Belmont, and I was writing up a proposal while finishing my second to last semester at college, and I was doing, it was crazy. I was studying for my finals, and I was finishing up this proposal, and I remember just like getting everything together and being just exhausted and just handing everything in, and and then I kind of was in limbo throughout my final semester because I didn't really hear anything back, and they were going to go through all the permitting process. So I was going through my final semester of college and found out that as I was graduating, I got the permit. But I also, trying to make sure that I was hedging my bets, I applied to some jobs and got a pretty good career with Turner Construction within a week of each other. The permit came out, and I was awarded that, and I was offered a job with Turner Construction. So throughout my first 2 years of Off The Hook, I was doing a full-time job and doing the kite lessons. The first summer I had mainly doing the kite lessons in 2016 because I didn't start Turner until the end of the kite season. I did that so I could do both. But then in 2017 was another big year because it was a tough year. I had the full-time job, and they'd moved me down to San Diego. So I was working in San Diego, driving up here on the weekends back to Huntington or to Long Beach, teaching, and then going back down to San Diego Sunday night. I also unfortunately lost my mom, in that year, and it was a big year for me to just figure out life and what was going on, and it was a very hard summer trying to go through all that. And I learned a lot about what really meant more to me. I think with the loss of a loved one, I was really starting to think like Turner was not the right choice for me. It was just the safe choice. And by the time I got into 2018, I started really realizing that, and kind of now having all that in my mind, I decided to go full on with the kite school. And in 2018, I quit Turner and went full on into Off The Hook. And at this year also is a big year because this is when the whole North and Duotone brand switchover happened. I started getting more and more involved with these guys and became the tech rep, and started doing more demo events and getting more and more involved in the industry side. So these guys were helping out a ton for the school, and it was awesome getting involved with that. And now I'm hitting the ground running. So in 2019, it was really getting into full-time with the kite school and really putting all of my effort into this. And I felt pretty good coming out of 2019. I got into the e-foil stuff. I got more involved with these guys, and things were feeling pretty good. So coming into 2020, I had a lot of good, I was very excited for this year. I even remember calling my dad, actually just in March, just before all this stuff started, now really early March, being like, yeah, 2020 is the year. And I still believe 2020 is the year. We're going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. And these videos help me getting through this. So thank you for watching this. This makes me have something to do over the week. And I really appreciate even just a few of you who are watching this. It's nice because it keeps me busy. And I just, wanted to give everyone my 10 years of kiteboarding. And it just, it's crazy. 10 years. I can't believe it. I really cannot believe it. Hopefully you liked my little spiel of my experience with the sport and where I am and how I got here. I have some really cool interviews coming up for some pro riders from Duotone over next week, so be on the lookout for those on either the Monday or Wednesday vlog. I'm pretty excited. There's some pretty big riders that I'll be talking with, so I'm happy to share that with all of you. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. I will see you Monday. Happy kiting, everybody.
Hey everybody, Chip Ripperson here. If you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be notified every time we post new videos like this one. And if you want to see more videos that are already on the channel, be sure to click right here for more of our pro rider interviews, gear reviews, and more vlog posts. Happy kiting, everybody. Ew!